Hello and welcome to Of Dice and Destiny. We are currently running from our new home and we have been welcomed wholeheartedly. We have a wonderful episode for you all tonight for those that are watching online and via any of our methods of streaming, be it Twitch or YouTube. And we wholeheartedly welcome you to the world of Albion. Now, previously, we had a bit of a fight in a forest, and I would like to ask who would like to do the recap, as Lou was the last person here. I volunteer Lou.
No.
Yes. Yes.
This
Absolutely.
is perfect. This is perfect.
Was I even here last session?
Yes.
You were.
Damn it.
Clue.
There's a handy guide.
You put Lou on the spot.
Give me like 2 seconds to recalibrate my brain.
There's a big clue on above VTT, by the way.
Just a small clue.
Just that.
Okay, I kind of remember a little bit. So, this is not going to be in chronological order, so get that expectation out of your head. We found obsidian shards.
And I thought you would do perfection.
We found obsidian shards.
Yes.
And whenever we tried to touch them, the heavens tried to smite us by striking us with lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aura got the first one. And then it was... I don't know if they're here with us today.
No, they're not.
Aspen's
But I
not
think
with
it
us
was
tonight.
Aspen did get the other one.
It was Aspen, yeah.
Aspen didn't get the other one, 'cause I'm pretty sure it was them.
Yeah, it was Aspen that got the other one.
And they didn't get struck by lightning, I don't think, which was kind of rude. But
No, they just got burnt instead.
oh yes, their camp set on fire. That was the bottom of their tent is no longer with us.
Let's put an end to your suffering, shall we?
End game or literally?
Giant obsidian meteoroid smashes into your camp. No. Roll a
I
dex
use
save.
Counterspell.
Right. So, in the last couple of sessions for the recap, you started off on your journey up to the Silver Lake cities, and on the path you met a traveller who gave a small warning about logs having been felled across the paths on the inner trail of the forest path, which was supposed to be slightly quicker for your journey, which is the path you chose rather than the perimeter. So with that, you went off, and about halfway through the day, you tried to settle down and grab yourself something to eat, only to realise that not many or any of you actually packed any rations for the journey. So with that in mind, you set off to hunt for some food. Aspen, I believe it was Aspen, Chris, and I
My
want,
character.
and Osiris that went off hunting. You did manage to successfully track down a wild boar, and you managed to hunt it, and Aspen, being the extremely stealthy barbarian that she is, how, I don't know, managed to get around and basically smash this boar's skull in, essentially. You brought it back to camp and you started eating. After you finished your meal, you packed up the remainder of the boar after preparing it for the journey, so that you had about 3 days worth of rations upon you. After the meal finished, you found yourself talking to a brown bear that had wandered up to your camp because it smelt the food. After much deliberation, you decided, Chris, to cast your Speak with Animals, of which is a trick you learnt when talking to a horse some time ago. And you spoke with the bear, who warned you of wild wolves tearing through the forest, eating everything in sight. And his message was, kill wolves, be happy, forest be happy. So with that and some knowledge, you finished packing up the rest of your supplies and you continued on your journey. And about an hour or so into your trek, you came across a clearing with a path that ran through it. And there were, lo and behold, thanks to some good perception checks, a number of wolves that were corrupted in some way, shape, or form. They weren't under their own control. You got into a bit of a scrap with them all, and during the scrap, we had Chris successfully transforming himself into a brown bear and tanking quite a bit of damage, biting the Guardian, but ultimately it was Aspen that finished the Guardian Wolf off, or the corrupted Guardian Wolf off, by splitting its skull in two with her sword. Once the Guardian Wolf had been killed and the other remaining wolves that were still alive, they seemed to lose the black wispy corruption that had been controlling them, and they turned and fled, running away, licking their wounds. Osiris then investigated the carcass of the killed Guardian Wolf, and upon investigation, you sliced the stomach open, and you found within it the first of two obsidian shards. Lou's character Aura collected this shard, and it decided to spark at you. And as a group, you instantly recognize this spark of energy as the same one that brought you to Albion in the first place, tying it in some way to the obsidian die that was the last thing you all remember from being on Earth before going through your own individual journeys in tunnels. The shards seemed to go dormant after that, and you continued your journey on and decided to set up and make camp. And throughout the night, nothing of interest really happened until the last watch, when Aspen was waking up. And Aspen did wake up only to find that her ground sheet on her tent had started melting from the heat of something. With a little bit of digging using her bare hands, she got maybe 1.5 feet or so down into the ground soil, and she could feel the heat radiating from whatever this was. And she found the second obsidian shard, and with it searing heat, of which I believe she failed that check. I can't remember, but either way, she has a flaming obsidian shard, making this the second shard that you have found in this area. And it was there that we left it as you were all waking up in the morning for the campfire for breakfast and everything else, of which Aspen prepared and started preparing breakfast for you all. But she falls silent. As you all start emerging. And that is where we left it. So, with that being said, is there anything you'd like to discuss?
So, I'm curious. Do we have any idea what that made that wolf like all shadowy, all smoky? Like, it bothered me a little that we didn't find out.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, good
I
morning.
have no idea. I have no idea.
I thought we believed. Oh, wrong accent. Wow.
Been a
Head
while.
behave, come on.
I thought we believed it was something to do with like the bigger wolf that we killed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I'm talking about.
it was Chris. Didn't you know something?
About what?
The
Big
wolf.
wolf, the one that cursed the other wolf. You're the of animals here.
I don't know. You're the one who. I don't know.
Helpful.
It was a weird wolf. I don't know. I got up close to it, but I was also like a bear.
You were a bear.
You sure were a bear.
You were a bear. My apologies.
Could it be Could it be something to do with the obsidian shard inside its stomach?
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense actually.
Maybe these things are cursed.
I mean, one did strike lightning onto.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, quick thought. If anyone cares to walk with me here. Don't these shards go like whip it out? Sorry, not you. Everyone else. Don't these shards remind you of the dice? Like the big dice?
Yeah, the one that sent us here.
Yeah.
I mean, kinda. It's the same material.
Hear me out. Hear me out here. We get like 20 of them. Maybe we can get the out of here. Just me.
Why do we
And
need
where are we going
20
to
of them?
find? Where are we going to find 20 of them?
Yeah.
Oh no, we found one inside of cursed animal. Let's go around getting adventures for cursed animals and kill them all so I can get home to my farm. I feel like
Well-
no one's pressed enough about getting home. I'm
No, I
leaving.
think all of us want to get home, but it's just like, why do we suddenly need 20 of these?
Because it would make
All we have is the fact that they're like the same material.
lightning.
Oh
To be
yeah,
fair-
lightning as well.
Besides being the fact that the other shard just suddenly appeared on the tent, on the ground, like
I'm going
That-
to have
I-
to meta this. She hasn't actually shown you it yet.
oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. The thing is, we have no clue where we will find these shards. We have no idea if it's related to monsters. Like, we don't know anything about them.
Surely, if we needed to find 20 of them and they were, for example, related to the dice, surely they would have numbers on them. These just look like, I don't know, kind of like a snake scale or something.
Does anyone have any better ideas on how to get home? I fear that you are all getting far too
Aspen,
comfortable here.
I
As-
I fear that you're being a bit presumptuous.
Aspen steps up and she pulls out of her pocket the second shard. Well, I have this one.
Why don't we put them together and see what happens?
I knew it. I knew it was something to do with these shards. We
Are
can't have
we
That doesn't mean anything.
sure?
We found them all in the same area, so what you're saying is if we spend the next day combing the area for these, we could get home this evening.
maybe it's not all going to be in the same area, but
Can
one
I
can have hope.
can I also say that I might actually have to share someone else's tent now because I no longer have a ground sheet.
What do you mean you no longer have a ground sheet?
Well, this was buried about a foot or so in the ground under my tent, and it seems to give off a searing heat, and
Look,
it melted my ground sheet.
I put that fire out. We put that fire out.
You were asleep.
It
I
was
mean,
a different fire.
okay.
This is a
I
different
assume.
fire.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. I was kind of worried it had spread on the ground.
And technically speaking, I put that fire out. Remember?
Yes.
Semantics.
All right. Two
Semantics.
shards. Maybe let's try connect them. Anyone? Literally anyone.
She holds her.
Yeah.
Aspen
Yeah,
holds her
Why
shard
are you
out
being a
and
bit
hands it to you,
detailed?
Lou. And she hands it to you,
Takes the
Aura.
first shard, he takes the second shard, and she like tries to place them together how a dice would start to be placed together.
They seem to. They're trying to spin in your hands as you push them towards each other, in the same way that if you tried to push two north polar magnets together, they would try and push away from each other. These two seem to be trying to spin around each other in some way, shape, or form as you're pushing them together.
She'll try and almost balance them on this spinning axis and only hold one of them and see if that works.
The second one pushes away and falls to the floor.
Right? That's something though. They're reacting to each other.
Chris just picks the one up from the floor and it's just like, yeah, let's just take it one step at a time. Just don't get so
Does
like.
anyone have proficiency with Arcana?
I think I do. Let me check.
I was gonna say,
No.
I'll just check.
I got proficiency.
Okay, if you can roll for me an Arcana check.
All right.
I will tell you in 2 seconds if you need more than one roll. If you only need
I got
one roll.
a 16.
You recognize something in this reaction.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I recognize this reaction.
It's. You're not absolutely certain, but you recognize it and you're trying to picture what it may be.
It's might just be a theory, but yeah,
You get a
see
feeling.
Steve like give it.
You get a feeling that you may have quickly snapped some images of text from a book and recall something about obsidian shards in it.
Yeah, Steve is going to take out his phone and looks through his pictures.
I completely forgot we had phones, guys. I really should have been
Yeah.
Next to your phone. Oh, yeah, no, we have those.
That's some amazing battery power. It's lasted what, 3-4 days? Wow.
Well, I've barely used it.
He hasn't been using it other than to take those original pictures.
Even so, phone batteries wear down really quickly, even without use.
Well,
that depends on what
Samsung.
phone you have.
Yeah, that's
Samsung.
I have
an
a
Apple phone.
I have a solar charger if anyone needs to charge their phone.
Might be a good idea at some point, but roll an investigation check with advantage for me, please, Wesley, and we'll see
Gladly.
if Steve can find the information buried.
Investigation?
Yes, with advantage.
All right. So that's a 12 and a 14.
Oh, on a 14, you find the page that mentions the shards. And you try and scroll and pinch and zoom and all the rest of it to make out what the wording on the page is. It's a little bit blurry because of the lack of light that was in the library on the night you took these photos. However, you make out on the page from the illustration that 3 obsidian shards may form a connected link that is stable.
So I've read about these shards actually in the library, and from what this picture says, when you form 3 obsidian shards, they make like a stable connection.
A stable connection to what?
Does that say to what or no?
It only images the 3 shards connected to each other in a stable formation.
I can't really tell. Sorry.
It was worth a shot.
It probably just means a stable connection to each other. It not
Well, I think if we find
like
another
it's not
shard,
stable at the moment, right? Because it's
Yeah.
just acting like magnets, but it will be a stable connection when there's 3. It's not a stable connection to another thing, you know?
Well, it's something, and it's something that we can try. If
But
there's only
again,
3
remember, can we just remember that it's one lead that we have. It's one clue. We need to not get ahead of ourselves and think this is the complete saving grace. Like, oh, we do this one thing and then that's it, done, sorted. Don't get your hopes up.
It's the only clue we have.
It's
Yeah,
our
but
only
I'm
hope.
saying don't get your hopes up
Mhm.
because we have no idea how this works.
Aspen
Believe
just
me,
nods.
What
I'm
you're
not
saying
getting
is
my
you
hopes
have
up.
no hopes at all. I'm getting
You
my
can
hopes
have,
up. I'd like to hope that this will do something, even if it doesn't get us home tonight.
yeah,
I-
it'll have some hope, but it's just like the immediate just full. It's the assumption that just because some of us don't think that this is going to be the only thing that we need to do to get out of this place is just like the assumption that you're making is that none of us care. It's just a bit.
I'm
I
making
don't
the
know.
assumption no one is as pressed about it as I am because I am the only one showing extreme vigor to get home.
I think you're the only one who's outwardly showing it. I think all of us want to get home. Aura, like we're all
Hey.
stressed here.
Aspen
Just-
just nods. I do want to get home. But there's no
Hey,
point
Chris.
rushing.
Don't make so many assumptions about us.
Hey, Chris. Do you think if you do get home, you'll still be able to speak to animals?
Who the hell knows? And they just got a
Aspen
bit quiet.
Aspen is standing there and she just nods and it's like, I do want to get home. I do.
Maybe at some point you could all actually show that you'd like to get home so I don't feel like I'm losing my mind. And she gets up and takes a moment to herself because she has been royally peed off. And I will
While she's walking across, Chris just like puts up like a middle finger just behind her back, just because they're really peed off as well. Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool.
But with that, I'm gonna BRB.
Okay.
As you continue your discussions into the morning, Killian, how is Osiris reacting to this new device that's just been seen?
He's a little bit away from the group because they're doing their thing right now. They're talking to each other about their stuff. He sees it, eating his food, drops his utensil,
Mm-hmm.
whatever he has at the moment. Just looks in like, what the fuck? Huh?
Are you
Fast.
showing the fact that you're, a little bit baffled?
I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. He is confused by it. He's like, what?
You want me to explain what this is, or
Will it hurt my head?
not if I simplify it?
That doesn't give me much hope. But sure, explain it to me.
Well, pretty much this is like a battery charged spellbook, I guess you could say. You can take like images and save them for when you need to recall something, like this situation.
Battery charge image?
The word battery is a bit foreign to you. It's not actually translating through whatever weave focus they've seemingly have that allows them to speak in your common tongue. Some words do seem to get malformed. The closest translation that you would potentially understand would be an arcane battery, as it were. And even then, those are extremely rare at this time in Albion.
He looks even more confused now.
Right, so
How
imagine.
do these people have arcane batteries?
Hold on, I'll explain what the cameras do, right? And Chris gets out their phone as well, and it's just like imagine. So this is called and they open up their camera, and it's just like this is what is called a camera, and imagine being like in the moment having an interaction, and then instead of just relying on your memory, you could almost capture the image and then store it in this, and they just wave their phone about, and it's just like, okay, so you hold there, right? And then and then Chris is gonna take a photo of Osiris, and then they show Osiris, and it's just like, see that current like pose you were standing in, now a version of it, an image of it is stored in this, and they show the photo on their phone.
Gonna get real
Jess
close.
is just
Say that again. Say that again, Osiris.
Oh, like a granddad, he's gonna get real close to the phone.
And don't worry,
Yes.
it's not anything like physical, like you're not, obviously it's not like a copy of you in the phone. Imagine it's like
Jess.
capturing sorry. I feel like
That's okay.
Yes, Jess.
Jess will weigh in, and Jess will like kind of shake her head and be like, so you know when aristocracy want to capture an image, they hire a painter. So this is an arcane device that takes out the artist and basically arcanely creates the image quickly and displays it on this magical parchment.
Cyrus, I personally don't want to lie to you.
Okay, wait.
And
okay,
I'm gonna whisper to Chris, I'm trying to explain it in a language he'll understand.
I'm not up for lying. I'm just gonna say, Osiris, it's not actually magical. It doesn't work arcanely, but it works in a way that is probably gonna go a bit over your head because it's a bit complicated. And none of us are really well versed in it either because we didn't make these things.
I'm gonna be honest here.
Mm-hmm.
What you were speaking about before with an arcane battery, do you know how rare those are?
It's probably not the same thing.
It doesn't sound like it, but it's the closest thing that's coming to my head.
Batteries and Chris, Chris is just gonna be like, batteries, which I think are a bit different. They're like made up of chemicals and metal and stuff, and they use those chemicals and stuff to basically transfer it energy, basically.
And
like they use the energy that's in that and transfer the energy into this.
To you,
Anyway, that's what about.
to you, Osiris, this sounds exactly like an arcane battery.
It sounds like transmutation magic to me, Gillian, right now.
Chris is just trying to explain that it's not magical.
His head goes to the side and it's like, you know when the person is trying to listen to you
Uh-huh.
He's not getting the words that you're saying to them. But he's trying. He's trying to listen. This might be going over my head a bit.
Yeah, but the
It's
thing that
fine.
the bit that didn't go over your head was the idea of an arcane interpretation of a moment in time, acting like the artist painting a painting for someone of aristocracy. And you did get that one clearly because it was actually very, very well described. So for that, Jess, you get an inspiration
Oh yeah.
because Osiris actually understood that. In Albion, however, the closest thing to that you have heard of is, other than the experiments in some of the far-flung mages' towers, where they're trying this sort of thing, is the successful and only capture of an imp that has been placed in a box to paint for people. It's not quite the same, but the imp does get the job done faster than a artist would, and more accurately.
Okay. I do have a technical question as well, DM.
Yes.
Osiris is proficient with alchemicals or alchemist supplies.
Yes.
With talk of chemicals, would it feasibly, to his knowledge of alchemy, be possible? Just a little thought experiment.
Would it feasibly be possible for what?
The battery. Because the way they were describing the battery with, instead of magic, more chemicals.
Yes. You would have to ask someone to sacrifice one of their batteries for you to be able to take it apart and study it. But with your alchemist supplies, you'd probably be able to determine what the battery is made from. However, you would imagine that maybe an artificer would be a better option to create such an object.
I've just had the worst idea.
So have I.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
It's only if Osiris asks for a battery that I've got a terrible idea.
He might.
No.
He
I
might.
have ideas. Okay.
So, as you gather your things, finishing up your conversations and getting ready to move on for the day, are there any last words?
He's not going to ask yet for the battery. Not yet. That's later on.
Okay. So, with that, camping gear packed away, with some oddly coloured tents, a new discovery of what this phone thing is, or what it can do, partially. And Aspen's now ground sheetless tent. You begin to march on into the forest to eventually come out the other side, about half a day's journey. As you're walking, you notice that the forest air seems to be a lot lighter, and you are actually hearing something that you didn't hear yesterday. and that is the sound of the bird song. And it is beautiful and melodic. It's something that you rarely get a chance to hear back on Earth unless you are really out in as wild an area as feasibly possible somewhere. And as you are continuing your journey through, there are a few pools and puddles here and there that you have to skirt around and avoid and stop yourselves getting too muddy. But you do eventually come out of the forest on the other side, and you see the perimeter path of the forest rejoining at a fork in the road that heads down towards what you can see is quite clearly a very, very lovely downhill walk. And you realize that this coastal area that you've just come from, this port town that you've just come from, is actually on slightly higher land than where you are headed to. Because as far as the eye can see from your current vantage point, there is relatively flat, similar to how you would see like potentially Denmark being very sort of flat, green, open land, as it were. And you can see off in the distance, not too far from where you are, but you can see off in the distance a couple of small sort of dotted villages, and then behind that lot of smaller villages you see your destination of the Silver Lake cities. It looks like one large city from here, with what appears to be like a spire-like tower in the distance, somewhere in the middle of it all. But you can see it's this city, as it were, seems to be, say, maybe another 3 days, 2.5, 3 days track from where you are now. But from here it is downhill until you reach the plains, and then on relatively flat land, and you can see the path and the road that pretty much takes you there most of the way. Continuing on the path, some of you may be looking around, looking at various different fields of crops that are being grown by some of the smaller villages as you continue on your journey. It's not long before you come to the first of these villages, and I'd say by about this time you're starting to probably feel a bit hungry because time is wearing on. It's maybe about 2 in the afternoon now, and you've probably been walking for about, say, maybe 4 or 5 hours. And for those that are in uncomfortable shoes at this moment, not suited for this sort of journey, your feet might be starting to ache a little bit.
Maybe we should think about stopping in this village and taking a quick break.
Yeah, we've been walking for quite a few hours by now.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
It's smart for everyone to also hydrate. It's quite warm.
Yeah.
Indeed,
Yeah, yeah.
it is. The weather is actually quite pleasant today. The sun is out. The air is clean. It's very, very pleasant.
So should we maybe look for like an inn or something?
Yeah,
I think so. Maybe
Okay.
we could find somewhere to get a water skiing so we can make sure we stay hydrated on our journey.
Well, I've got a water flask in my backpack if anyone needs it.
I could
Water
use a
skin or
drink of
something.
water.
Yeah, Steve takes off his backpack and hands his water flask.
Thank you. And Jess will drink, not all of it, but she'll take a good few gulps of water and hand it back.
This water flask that you've got,
Yeah.
is it like one of the chili bottle type water flasks?
They're like, I think Steve would, especially as a martial artist, have like one of these big water flasks, like 2 liters.
Okay, so they're pretty heavy ones.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this water flask looks a little bit strange to you, but I mean, for one, it's semi-transparent. You've never seen any material for a water skin or flask of this nature before, Osiris.
What doesn't at this point they keep pulling out random stuff?
Poor Osiris.
Yeah.
He's not going to forget this in a hurry.
Oh, he's this man might study engineering soon.
Anyone else need a drink of water?
No, I'm good.
Bear in mind, this
I'm
is
good on
water
water.
that you acquired on Earth.
Yeah.
It's your last taste of home.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
I'm sure the
no.
water here would be a lot fresher, to be fair.
I think to
And less
make it even
chemically.
I think to make it even more stingly, I
just
think
because
it's
it's a
the
part of the
last thing
UK
his
you're
wife
from.
filled for him.
Scotland's water is brilliant.
Aww. Poor Steve.
Well, as you put the bottle of water away and you approach into town, into this small village, you can see the peasants and people that are sort of dotted about and dithering around. It's a very, very small farming village. There's not really much that goes on at this sort of time or place. There's like a small inn and a small farmer's market, but it's all sort of local produce mostly for those that are local here. There's nothing really too much of interest. But the inn itself, as you look up at the broken sign that is outside this venue, the name is cracked in half, and you're not really too sure what it's called. The inn and something. You don't know what. But the door is partially open. It doesn't seem to be able to close fully. And you can hear a little bit of chitter and chatter coming from inside.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Yes. Let's go.
As you push open the door, and you step in. You're greeted with a warm, friendly smile from the likes of which none of you would have seen except maybe from your grandmothers. You know, that, oh, hello there, how are ye? It's good to see some new customers. You just travelling through? I imagine your feet are a bit weary. Do you want to put your feet up and perhaps we can sort something out for you to eat? Would you like a drink? Let's start with the refreshments. Would you like a drink?
Yes, please. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Very well.
I would
Well,
love one as well.
Do you have any kind of anything non-alcoholic, like juice or something?
one moment. Olivier! Olivier! Bear with me. Did you press the juice this morning? And you hear a shout from somewhere upstairs. Yes, Ma. In the cupboard. Under the bench. She comes back and she has a look. Oh, yes. Of course, dear, we've got some oranges. Orange juice.
I will take some orange juice. And she'll turn to Steve and be like, they have orange juice here?
They have oranges. Whoa. I was not expecting that one.
Nor was I.
Of course we've got oranges, dear. Of course we've got oranges. Yes, they're an exotic fruit here, but we've got enough to make enough juice. It's very limited, though, but yeah, of course we've got orange juice. And she takes out a tankard, pulls it off the top, and dips it in the barrel. By the looks of it, we've only got about 4 tankards of this, though, left.
Jess will take a sip. Does it taste like orange juice from back home?
As you drink it, it's familiar, but there is a difference. The juice itself doesn't seem to be as sweet as orange juice back home.
Jess will probably wince as she drinks it, and like, yeah, it's really good. Thank you.
Ah, you're welcome. Would anyone else like some? I'll do it all for a silver piece. It's not a problem. And she basically just fills 3 more tankards up, and then looks at the bottom of the barrel and goes, well, that'll be the last of it, though. Must have been busy this morning before I arrived. About 2 bells ago.
How much did you say? A silver piece?
A silver piece for all 4. Yes.
Steve hands her 2 silver pieces.
Well, that's very generous of you. Do you want anything to go with this?
Chris leans over to Jess and is just like, how much is that in normal money?
£5, I think.
£5 for 4 pints, essentially, in 4 tankards.
That is a brilliant deal.
That is a brilliant deal. It's normally like £3 a glass in back home.
I got another question, actually.
Yes.
Do you happen to have any water skins?
Water skins. Unfortunately, no. We don't have any water skins here, I'm afraid. But I do have... No, I don't even have that. I must have sold the last one some point in the week. Ah, well. Sorry there, lad.
Do you know where we could maybe get water skins?
Oh, definitely. If you go two villages forwards towards, I mean, you're on the path anyway, but if you go down 2 villages to Thrubrook, what you'll see, they've actually got cattle and a tannery there. You could probably get some water skins made up for yourselves there if you need them.
Well, thank you very much for the information.
Thrubrook. And it's on the path to Silver Lake City.
Why, yes, it's 2 villages down. It's the only one around here that has a tannery that could do that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Is there anything else I can get you? You've been on the road long.
A while,
Yeah,
yes.
this point.
She stops and looks at you, Osiris. You're not a very chatty group, are you? Osiris, I believe that you understand Orcish, correct?
I do.
Okay, in Orcish, she turns and she looks at you and says,
Ooh.
Why do I get the feeling you're just tagging along for something? You're after something, aren't you? What is it that this lot's got? Keeping you around? They ain't your sort, are they? To the rest of you that do not understand Orcish from any language translations, this sounds like guttural grunts and groans.
He
Yep,
looks
no.
back a little offended, but I'm just with them because they need help.
Damn right, they look like they need a bit of help. Not gonna lie. Anywho. So they ain't taking you along for the ride or anything, are they? Good. Right. Well, as soon as I know good folk, clearly this lot needs something. Food?
Food would be a wonderful start.
Aye. What'll it be then? Half a hog? Whole hog? What are you after?
Full hog.
Yeah,
Full hog, definitely.
I'll get that roasted up and brought right out. I believe we've got 3 on the fire at the moment. Get that out for you.
Ooh.
And just let them know they can have it for 3 silver pieces.
He'll just put down 4.
Cool. She takes it. She looks at it. She gives one of the coins a bite. Puts it in a little tray and shuts the drawer. And she heads out the back and leaves you and sort of says, find yourselves a table, back in common now so you can all understand. Find yourselves a table, food will be right out.
Appreciate it.
Chris just leans
what
over
was...
to Osiris and is like, what was she saying?
Oh, it's nothing. We're getting a whole hog.
A whole hog.
We're getting food.
Because she was looking at us weird.
She thought.
Would
Was she
Jess
being
be
rude?
able to tell if he's lying?
He hasn't said anything
He
yet.
hasn't even said anything yet.
Yeah, he hasn't properly said
It's fine.
anything.
But if you want to
Um,
preemptively try and incite him whilst he's actively speaking, you can go ahead and make your roll now, but it will stick.
Oh, okay.
Go on, let's see.
I'll wait till he says something first.
Mhm.
Okay. She thought. How do I say this? I myself don't actually know the purpose. Was she thinking they're taking advantage of Osiris, or
That was the implication.
Oh,
yes.
she called us thick, basically.
Yeah, no, she's basically called. She called you guys a little lost and maybe taking advantage of me.
Fucking prick.
Oh my god. How rude.
I cleared it up. Don't worry, it's all good.
Did you still want to do
I
your
ain't
insight
rolling
check?
any insight. I believe every word he says.
No.
He's
it's
never
fine.
liked you guys.
Because that's my buddy!
That's your buddy.
That's
He's
my
never liked you guys.
That's my friend.
Yeah,
That's
to
my
be fair, he's been
pal.
quite
That's
honest
my
with us.
boy.
Mm.
Chill, buddy.
After a few minutes, the hog comes out and is quite literally a whole hog. And you can see it laid on this huge platter. Apple in its mouth, all the garnishings. This is the sort of meal that you would have expected to see at a medieval banquet. Or at least that's how our history books on Earth teach it. You wouldn't
This
have
looks-
expected it to have been here at a tavern like this.
There's enough food here to last us a good couple of days.
Oh yeah. I think we should perhaps can I carve it up? Perhaps.
Yeah, you can carve it up, definitely. That all the utensils are there to do that.
Oh yeah, Steve will go right at it.
Could I get an ale? Actually, and he goes to the person. Can I get an ale quickly?
Of course you can, love. And she heads back, grabs a nail, puts it down. Don't worry about the cost on that one. And gives you a wink.
Oh, Osiris looks a little confused and just winks back and walks to his seat. Guys, he's
Now the
actually
question is,
socially awkward.
now the question is, does she double wink?
Oh,
Nope.
I think she likes you.
really?
I mean, she winked at you.
I think she's a bit old for you.
You're. How old do you think I am?
I don't know. How old do you think she is?
Do this without any. DM, how old does she look?
Roll a perception check for me, because you are actively studying her features for a guess on her age.
All
Go with
right,
that one.
14.
On a 14, she looks to be maybe mid to late 40s. definitely more human than anything else, but you can see faint bloodline traces of Orcish in her. Very, very faint, and only by essentially the slits of her eyes and the slightly pointed teeth on her lower jaw. But even then, they're not that prominent anymore. Clearly, the bloodline is thin in this one.
It's an accident. Sorry, I was just trying to get my laptop to not shut down.
Oh, okay.
Looks about early 40s, in the 40s.
And how old are you?
I'm in my mid to late 20s.
Right, so a bit old for you then. Unless you're into that. I mean, I don't judge. I don't judge.
Whoa!
I don't judge.
Whoa! Okay, hold on.
Ageism isn't really a thing you've ever come across. You've been to bars where women have been a lot older and looking a lot hornier, and still going with the younger men in your sailing days. So to you, she looks... Actually, she's pretty young.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Looks pretty fine. That's whoa.
Chris just has their hands up and she's like, look, I don't judge everyone on their preferences.
You know, when you're on the sea for a little bit, things get kind of boring after a while.
Whoa. So it's like that. Ha!
I'm a sailor. What do you think?
Wow. I can't believe you would have said that. Insane.
So Jess is ace, so she has she's just kind of like, she doesn't understand this whole thing about kind of, she understands the basics of attraction and can see when people attract each other, but she's just like, doesn't understand when Osiris has had needs on the sea. So she's just kind of looking very like, I kind of understand, but she doesn't kind of understand, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you're eating and talking and loudly at this point amongst each other.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that quiet.
We're not.
Before
We're not
I'm keeping that quiet.
We've only been drinking orange juice. We're not drunk.
Yeah, no, we're not drunk. I mean, yeah, we're not drunk, but we're just having a good conversation.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
So we're not loud.
We can. We are loud. We're having a good conversation.
You're loud.
Yeah,
Osiris is not.
Chris is a loud person.
DM,
Jess will just kind of shrink back and be quite quiet and watch on, with kind of focusing on her food, but keeping an ear out of everything that's going on, but at the same time is kind of well, this is awkward.
I've got a question, DM.
Yes.
Ever since Steve was in this world, did he not get a message from his wife, or are all servers down?
You wouldn't have received any text messages or calls or anything like that on your device at all.
Any service. There isn't any service or any Wi-Fi or any connection here. No satellite, no cell towers, nothing.
Fair enough.
Yep, it is literally just a device. Still has its functions that can be used, like taking notes on it, that sort of thing. But you wouldn't have received anything that requires a data connection on your device at this time.
It's basically a camera and a calculator.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a notepad.
And a notepad.
I don't know, but
So I feel like after eating, Steve would get up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go for a little walk by myself, if that's fine.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
no
no,
worries.
fully okay. I'm gonna quickly go to the bathroom.
As Steve is taking a walk, he starts to reminisce about his fiance, or rather wife by now.
Mm-hmm. Would have been
And
wife.
it would have been, yeah, because after the trip they would get married.
Yeah. So you start
And
reminiscing.
Oh my god, I've
and
just
I feel
realised.
like
No, it's okay. Hold on, keep talking. I just had a realization.
and I feel like as he reminisces about his wife, I think he starts to quietly break down a little.
Fair enough. As you are reminiscing, go over some of the thoughts that are going through your mind at this time.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is how they met,
Yeah.
which was at a funny enough, it was a martial arts tournament where they were matched up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And after she beat his ass hard, I will add.
Yep.
They started to, talk, start to chat more. Eventually started dating over the course of 5 years.
Mm-hmm. As you're reminiscing, make a wisdom check for me, please.
All right. That's a 15.
Back on Earth, how addicted to your phone were you? Would you say?
Not much at all. He was a very grounded person and only used his phone for basic needs.
Okay. You're fine. Carry on.
The second moment he would reminisce about was the proposal,
Yes.
of which Steve pulled up all these stops. Like he would like hire a pilot to write a message in the sky.
As you're reminiscing, thinking about the message in the sky that was written, you look up. There are clouds in the sky. They don't form any messages as such. But I want you to roll me a perception check, please.
All right. 13.
There's a slight shadow that comes across and then disappears just as quickly. Sun probably went behind the clouds at that moment, as if mirroring your own painful thoughts, what you're missing most. And that's where we're going to end that section of the session.
Yeah.
As you wander back, reminiscing in your thoughts. As for the rest of the party, continuing your conversation whilst Steve has disappeared for maybe a good 10, maybe 15 minutes. What are you lot getting up to, other than obviously Osiris, who said he was going to the bathroom? What are the rest of you? What are you all doing?
Chris is going to start talking about. It's just Chris is just going to be like, why do we need to explain everything like using magic terms when it's not magic?
Because if I don't know, we don't know this world. Perhaps if we explained things realistically to the wrong person, it could land us in a whole heap of crap.
Right, but
I'm
why
just saying
can't
we don't know this.
But
we don't know this
Osiris
world.
isn't like that.
True. But I don't want to break Osiris.
I mean, physics still exists in this world, don't they? Like, I don't know. I guess the photographs and stuff, it's fine, but I don't know. Batteries, like, you can explain how that works.
Even I don't know how batteries work.
Oh, batteries. Well, actually, batteries. You basically have an you have electrical energy. As some kind of input, electrical energy goes into the battery. It causes a chemical reaction inside the battery because of the chemicals that are built into the battery, and then that chemical energy that chemical potential energy that's in the battery.
Let's keep it rolling. We don't need full explanation.
That was part of the conversation.
I know, but just trying to keep the ball rolling here, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's fine. But Chris just starts explaining it then.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just saying, if we say the wrong thing to the wrong people, we don't know what might happen. Or if someone overhears us telling Osiris, things from where we're from, and just make sure she's being really quiet when she says this. You don't know what might happen. Hell, we could be tied to the stake and burnt as witches, and then we'll never get home. And then Jess has a sudden realization that she's been getting all this tech out and been like, yeah.
I just don't think that will happen.
Lou is quietly listening. Sorry, Aura is quietly listening to this conversation quite intently. And considering her outburst at the breakfast camp, at the camp earlier, she's not looking too pleased with the idea of hiding everything. But she does understand the need to hide it to an extent. But maybe you're not sure. But maybe you see a slight smile creep on Aura's face as you are talking about home, at the very least. It's about this time that Osiris comes back from the outhouse.
I'm totally going to explain how batteries work to Osiris.
Oh, God. You can role play that outside of the.
Yeah.
DM, while Osiris was at the bathroom, could he have done a check on his sword actually? Because I did want to do that.
Yes, you can. So, as you head out the back, you find very quickly that it's an outhouse attached to the back of the building. Nothing fancy, just a hole in the ground with a privacy door. More of a curtain, really. But yeah, go ahead. What are you checking?
Check the dream annoyed him a little bit, or not annoyed him, but something's going on. Is there any obsidian on the sword? Because all this talk about obsidian earlier on made him a little curious.
As you look over at the sword that you have, you see fine black inlay on the handle, on the sword hilt, and the handle where you hold it. Roll me a investigation check. If your Arcana has proficiency, I will allow you to use that instead.
Well, they're both the same thing. I sadly do not get advantage because it's not Faith Fiend or Undead thing, I don't think.
So, investigation check.
I did Arcana because I'm also proficient in it.
Right, okay, that's fine then. 23.
23.
Ooh. As you are studying the hilt and handle on this sword, you see that fine black inlay that is on there. And yes, it looks like glass, black glass. Very fine, very intricately laid into various grooves to create a beautiful spiral pattern on the hilt itself. Almost as if it's coiling itself like a snake around where you're holding the blade. And as you're studying it, you see what you can only imagine is a glimmer or a glint of not radiant energy, but a glint of energy nonetheless inside the hilt of inside the obsidian itself, as it seems to glisten somewhat as you inspect it. With the investigation check you rolled, you know it's not just a reflection of the sunlight on the blade, on the hilt, and the obsidian inlay. And you realise that there is an energy within it of some nature. With your Arcana check, you detect it being maybe somewhat draconic in its nature.
That's what I thought.
It's roughly at this moment that during your investigation, a dark cloud almost blocks out what little light you get in this outhouse from the outside, bearing in mind the curtain is drawn. Not too much light can get in. It is a privacy curtain, as it were.
Yeah.
But a dark shadow, as if a cloud has gone in front of the sun and completely blocked it out for a few moments, shoves by, and then the sun comes back out again.
Yeah, no, he's not going to do anything with the plate yet. No, he's not going to do anything with the plate yet. He was thinking about his dream possibly cutting himself again with it, but no.
Okay.
Not yet. He'll go back inside.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
They were having a conversation about home at the table whilst you were there. And though you
Perfect. Or
kept
would have
your
been stewing the entire time.
Yes, although you kept silent, they were discussing the fact that maybe they were missing it somewhat. Maybe explaining Earth electricity and batteries is not the best idea out loud.
Yeah, no, the Aura definitely nodded her head a few times and was clenching her jaw majority of the time. Just kind of sitting in the corner, arms crossed, mulling things over.
But it's about this time though that Steve comes back from his walk. Osiris is arriving back at the table as well. You finish off your meal and the drinks that you've ordered. You manage to wrap up and pocket the rest of the hog that Osiris hasn't devoured. So you do gain another day's worth of rations.
I'd like to
So
say that
that's-
at some point, Aura definitely did comment on, Jesus Christ, you're literally could eat a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Like that comment did come out.
Yep.
So that's now 2 days worth of rations, I believe.
Correct.
Nice.
Should be just
We love
enough to
that,
get
we
you
love
to the Silver Lake City.
Yippee.
So, you finish your meal, you pack up. And as you stand up, the woman behind the counter, she looks up at you all. All right there, lass. All right there, lads. Take it you're going to be getting back out on your feet then. Well, just to let you know, about halfway up, you'll probably find that there's a few of the Silver Lake City's guards patrolling up and down here. Thought it's best in your interest to know that there's been a few bandits that have been sighted in the area. Just giving you some free advice. Stick to the roads, you'll be all right. And if you see the guard, keep walking past them. They shouldn't stop you, but if
We
they
will.
do, make sure you got your stories straight. And she gives you all a bit of a wink on that one, and a cheeky wink in a sense of, hey, I'm just ribbing you, before she disappears again, and after watching you leave.
Bandits. Brilliant.
Well then, that's always wonderful.
We survived them last time. Not the right accent. We survived them last time. I'm sure we'll survive them this time.
Mhm. Cool.
Plus, I believe people are more aware of their abilities this time, and we might not get caught by guards for things.
Jess will just give Aura a look.
Oro will pat Jess on the shoulder.
Okay. As you continue walking along the road, the main road is now more cobblestones. There's loose cobblestones, I would say. They're trodden in, but it is a little bit of a bumpy path through the village and out along on the main road that heads towards your destination today. And it's not long before you have been walking for maybe about an hour, and as you look around at the various sort of green open fields, you're noticing various sorts of crops being grown. There's like a field of corn at one point, or what you would consider corn. There's a field of, well, you're not quite sure, but it's like a bean of some kind. It is definitely that farming town community, and you're walking between the fields as you're following the path down. But as you get out from beyond these sort of nearby fields where the farmers are growing their crops, the road becomes a little bit softer underfoot, slightly muddier, and the only sort of distinct markings telling you that this is the right way and this is still the road are the numerous carriage wheel tracks running up and down that have long since made grooves in along the path. The fields go from crops to green and bush and wild shrubs and plants and of all sorts, and small scuttering animals like squirrels and a couple of foxes, as it were, as they're sort of playing in the wildlife out here. Somewhat skittish of you all. Obviously, you're a party. They're possibly wondering if they're about to get hunted or not. Who knows? But that's the sort of look that they give you before they settle down and carry on playing, like the fox cubs and that, or playing amongst themselves. But as you continue on your journey, walking, talking, discussing, you hear a cry from somewhere, maybe just off to the left of where you are.
What sort of cry?
Mm-mm.
Help!
Should we go and help?
Wait. Or can I do an investigation or any sort of check to see if that's a human help? She's instantly thinking there are birds that can mimic different animal calls. There's nothing to say that there's an animal here that can't do that.
Can I help Aura, please? Or I'll also listen out as well and try and work out.
I'll allow you to do 2 separate perception checks on this.
Cool.
Perception.
Oh,
Come on.
dirty 20.
I'm struggling for this goddamn thing to work. There we go. Let's try. Please roll.
It's all trolling.
Oh, another dirty 20.
Yes. Dirty 20s.
You both get a distinct feeling that this is a humanoid vocal range. This isn't mimicry from an animal. It would have a distinct sort of tell to it if it were. From the perception check, as you are listening out, the second help cry comes over. You work out that this help is coming from perhaps someone maybe in their early 20s, give or take. And they seem to be, from that perception roll, you would estimate maybe 100 feet or so off to your left in the field, buried under what could only be described as shrewd and roughly placed shrubbery and undergrowth.
Aura will turn to the rest of the party and nod and kind of like go towards the cry.
Wait. And Jess will shout after Aura. Don't forget they said there was bandits in the area. This could be a trap.
Aura will freeze. She will look back at Jess. This is why I'm not
Jess will go with Aura, but she will pull out her dagger just to arm herself, just to be ready.
Okay.
Steve will also follow.
Mace. Aura will have her mace.
Hold on, my big boy greatsword. I'm gonna do right on it already.
You're doing a right. Correct. Correct. Okay. As you do your right, you slice your hand and draw blood.
2 damage.
Okay. You watch as the blood drips down the sword blade, hits the sheath. You never really noticed this before, but you're always wondering why whenever you went to clean your blade, there never was any blood stains on there. That you see it seemingly getting absorbed gently into the hilt of the blade and the sword itself.
Oh no. Running.
As you all run, ready for a fight, I might add, towards this cry for help, you come across a young gentleman in the field. And it looks to be that he has fallen over and, well, I say field, it's think of the moors and the rough undergrowth that you get on the moors. It's sort of like that. And he seems to have fallen over and managed to get his leg trapped under what appears to be a rather thick bush that appears to be gripping him relatively tightly. And he doesn't seem to be able to free his leg.
Jess will get out her hand axe and ask, "Are you okay?" Oh, well, obviously you're not okay. I'll try and free him.
I'm don't know what happened. I was running 1 minute and then I slipped, got my leg caught, and this thing wrapped itself around me. As you begin to hack at it, give me an attack roll with your hand axe.
Dean?
15. Yeah, you managed to hack away some of the vines that seem to be gripping him. And yes.
Can Chris keep an eye out around just to see if anyone tries to approach?
You can indeed. If you give me a perception check. You managed to free some of the vines, Jess. What is anyone else doing if they are assisting?
Can Steve
Can Steve?
Yeah, can Steve look for like the roots of this plant?
You can indeed. Give me an investigation check. And Aura.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, if Chris is looking one way, she'll look the opposite way, standing at the opposite side of the party, if that makes sense, so that one person's looking one way and the other person's looking the other, so they have a round overview of around them.
Yes, very good. Roll me a perception check yourself as well.
I rolled a 25.
Oh no. Oh no.
Roll 6. There's like a
Not
horsefly on my leg. She's gonna like wave this horsefly off so it doesn't bite her.
Fair enough.
Horseflies suck. Real painful.
Yeah.
They really do.
On a 25 on your investigation, you do indeed see the roots of where these vines have sprung out from. And as you point them out, Osiris looks over and you recognize the plant for what it is. You, Osiris, recognize that this is an entanglement brush. An entanglement bush, as it were. And its instinctive defensive nature is to essentially whip out some vines and wrap itself around anything that is running by that it thinks might be trying to hurt it. The vines themselves are ignored when it comes to hacking and slashing at it, because for it the vines would die off anyway after use. And it takes a little while for them to regenerate within itself. But this plant is semi-magical in that sense, that it can regrow those vines fairly quickly, maybe a week or so. So it's not worried about the vines being hacked and slashed at, it's just itself. So you realise that this person must have been running through the field here with this underbrush and growth and plant and shrubs and what have you. And as they were running through, They may well have been about to essentially trample on this bush, which is the reason why it would have struck out with these vines.
I'm going to let all this information know to the party.
Cyrus,
Every
does this
bit of it.
plant regenerate?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it does.
As Steve finds the roots, he's going to cast infestation on the roots.
Have you haven't cast this spell before, have you?
It's a cantrip.
You still haven't cast this cantrip before,
I
have
haven't casted it. No, that's right.
you? Okay. So, bearing in mind that you are capable of casting the majority of the cantrips now without too much difficulty, what I would like you to do is give me a good description of how, from your scientific perspective, this magic would work.
So I would feel like as Steve is trying to conjure up this spell, he's like using his magic, his innate magic that he's got in this place to attract like a cloud of what are they called again? The termites.
Oh, termites. Okay.
Yeah.
So you imagine this cloud of termites, as it were.
Yeah. And using this in like a magical link with these parasites, because they are classed as parasites, he is going to concentrate on that connection and make that connection focus on the root of the plant.
Okay.
And essentially asking those parasites to bite through it.
Okay. Roll your attack with that if they're for me.
It's a saving throw.
Okay, saving throw failed. Next.
So it takes a d6 of poison damage. And I roll a d4 for a direction. So, like the plant is either moved north, south, east, or west.
Okay.
So essentially what I'm trying to do is move the plant in a way to make it let go of the leg.
Okay. No, that's fine and fair. Roll your dice and roll your direction. Bearing in mind that he would be essentially laying west, just maybe 2 foot west of this plant.
Yeah. That's 2 points of poison damage.
Fair enough.
And I will roll a d4 for the direction.
Yep. One is north.
2, that's to south.
Okay. So, south. It does move away. It does get pushed away. And the parasite itself, eating away at it, does attempt essentially to gnaw through the root as instructed. But rather than the thing moving, it's more a case of they successfully gnaw through the stump, as it were, of this little bush, and after a couple of minutes, you see it fall away, and the bush itself seemingly rolls slightly southward. It does give up the vines that it grew out to entangle, this person. The vines are still attached to his leg, but it's no longer attached to the plant itself. The plant wasn't living
Try.
in a carnivorous sense of it being alive and attacking you. So
I was essentially just trying to make it let go, or essentially make him able to move.
yep, I mean, he's free of the grip from the plant, but he's not free of the vines on his leg. They're still on his leg. As you continue to chop away at them, I assume, Jess?
Yes.
Okay, we got one more person, and that is Osiris. Is there anything you would like to do?
No, not really. No. He's just checking, seeing if the dude's okay. Any injuries or anything.
He doesn't look too seriously injured, but you continue to unwrap his leg from these vines, and you can see some of the thorns on it are slightly nasty. However, the gentleman, the young man, gets up eventually, limping quite a bit as he stands, and you can see a couple of nasty gashes on his leg where it's been restricted, and one of the thorns has dug right into his flesh. But he's alive, he's moving, he's well. It seemed well. All things considered, he's well. And he looks at you all and it's like, I don't know what I would have done. I've been here for a few hours now trying to get this thing off of me, and I just couldn't. Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't get many kind folk around here, it seems.
What were you running from?
Oh, well, you see, if you go about a mile or so that way, there's a road that runs parallel to the one that you've just come from. And, well, my wagon, my cart, and, well, my family's cart was held up, and, yeah, they took the cart. Some random strangers just robbed us, took the cart, kidnapped, or tied my parents up, and left them in the back, and drove off with my horses and the cart and my parents. So I managed to slip out of the carriage and run, and I just kept running, and then this thing grabbed me, and, well, now you're here. It's been a hell of a morning. What can I say?
I was going to say that sounds like a series of unfortunate events.
That's one way of putting it, yes. I can't thank you enough, but I've really got to find somewhere to rest up so that I can then get to town and report this to the guard. They'll be mightily upset when they hear my parents have been kidnapped. Would you mind escorting me to the next village? Sorry, I might slow you down, though.
It's fine by me.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
heading that
fine
way
by me
anyway.
too.
And, well, safety in numbers.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Although,
Sorry, what's your name?
Gary.
Gary.
My full name is Garantha de Silva. But most people call me Gary. I'm just the youngest of the family, and the last of my family now. It seems. Last of my name.
I'm
Sorry,
sure
at the end, did you say De Silva?
Yes. Desilva.
Thank you.
I am sure the family will be all right. We have to have confidence.
Well, there's certainly going to be a nice reward for their safe return, I imagine. But that won't happen until I can get back to the guards at Silver Lake Cities.
Are your family notable for anything?
Yes. But I'm not sure I should. It's not my place to say.
That's all right, I'm sure.
But I assume you're all sort of walking and talking as you're going along. Yes.
Yes.
But Sinners, there's no. And he takes a quick look around. No prying ears here at the moment, and you have done me a favour. My family runs the Royal Goldsmith in town. In the centre, and yeah.
Were they rich?
Well, only in the sense of the amount of material we hold, but that material isn't ours. It's the royals. We're not rich. We're notable, and we are certainly well off, but we're not rich, I'm afraid. We're just rich in the amount of materials we have.
Yeah.
You do not need to explain yourself. It's all right.
But if it's money that you're after, then, like I say, a reward will be put out when we get back to town.
I think for now, getting you to the guards as fast as possible is going to be a priority now.
Yes, but it's what, and he looks up in the sky and he looks at one of the trees at the side of the road and he looks at the shadow and makes a quick judgment on roughly where north is. Well, by my count, it's 5th bell of the afternoon now, give or take. So, sun goes down on the 7th bell, about halfway between the 7th and the 8th bell. By the time we get to the next little village, I'm probably going to need to rest up anyway, and hopefully get some sleep, so that I'll be nice and fresh and ready in the morning to make the rest of the journey. if you are willing to continue escorting me, I'm sure I can. And he starts fishing in a pouch that he has in his backpack. It's just something I quickly grabbed from the coach before I left. Maybe there's. Oh yes. It's not much, but I can maybe offer you a gold per day for the 2 days it's going to take to get home. Would that be compensation for your services as an escorting me home? Would you mind? It's about all I can afford at this moment.
There's no need.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Oh.
And like,
Sorry, let's have a quick talk. Let's have a quick talk quickly.
yeah, let's have a little
Guys.
talk in hushed voices.
Guys,
We need gold.
what are we doing?
Guys, we need gold anyway, and this gentleman's nice, and there's going to be a reward, and 1 gold's what, 10 quid? I'd say that's a fair deal.
We can't just take all of the money that he has. He has literally been robbed. He has nothing. Take what he
his
has.
family.
His
His family
family-
owns a goldsmith. I'm sure once he gets home, he will have plenty of money.
His family may be killed for all we know.
Okay,
We
hold on. Let's pull this back quickly. This dude needs help, right? Let's help him first. And since there is going to be a reward for this guy's parents, let's not take his money. I'm saying we do need
Fine.
gold. I do agree with you. We do need gold.
Fine.
Maybe instead of taking his gold, we could perhaps help with the investigation.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then
Yes.
we'd get a reward.
Exactly.
That's
Then we'll
me.
have at least a bit.
Okay. Okay, fine. We'll do it your way.
Thank you.
You do not need to give us any gold. We will gladly help you.
We're heading that way
get
anyway.
back.
That's thank you. I honestly can't say thank you enough. At least let me get the rooms at the next inn in town so we can sleep comfortably. Should
That
only
sounds
be should be only a couple of gold anyway for that, which will be fine. I can afford that. And he looks through his thing. You can't tell, but it sounds like there may be 5 or 6 coins in there jingling together.
Also, I assume it starts to get dark.
It's the sun is certainly starting to head to the horizon at this point. And as you continue your journey towards the next town, the next little village en route, you do hear 6 bells toll. It's
Yes,
just
Steve is
6
going-
bell.
Steve is going to use his light cantrip to essentially make a light from his staff.
Also, could I keep an eye out if anyone's following us?
You certainly can. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh, come on, turn. Yes, it wasn't a 1. I'll take it. It's an 11. It almost hit a 1. I'm so happy.
On an 11, you don't notice anyone following as such.
The coast is clear, guys.
No, just
And as you arrive into the small village, there are indeed a couple of guards here. They don't seem to be too bothered about paying much attention to what's going on, as they seem to be more engrossed in playing a game of cards with each other. And you stroll on past them, and the boy, the young man, looks at them. He was about to say something, and then shakes his head and carries on with you. And as he carries on with you, he turns and says, "Something don't seem right about those two. If they really were guards, I don't think they'd be playing cards."
Do you think they're like Steve? Like wishes. Do you think they're bandits?
Well, no, because the insignia that they had on their armor looks real, looked genuine. I don't think they're bandits. I just don't think they're. Maybe they've been assigned a small village because they're absolutely useless, and it keeps them out the way. Who knows? Something doesn't seem right about them. They shouldn't be playing cards. Not if they're supposed to be on duty anyway. Now, let's keep going. Let's keep going. The nearest inn should be just up the way. The Pail and Bucket, it's called.
okay.
Or as quietly observing
Mm-hmm.
and just
Right.
following.
What are you looking for?
She's just looking around. She's not looking for anything. She's just observing everything around her.
Okay, what's your passive perception?
That passive will be 14, I believe, but let me double check that.
It's enough
Yes,
to. Yeah. It's enough to keep yourself alert and aware of what's going on. And if you do decide to make any perception checks whilst you are actively observing your surroundings passively at this time, it will grant you an advantage on that roll.
Is there anything that would catch her eye? I suppose someone mentioning the guards, she'd double check the guards.
You double check the guards, but they seem uninterested in what's going on around them. They're more interested in placing a few coin on the table for a game of cards at this moment in time. Although their table is more of a broken, upended barrel. But yeah, nothing really would catch your eye about that. I mean, you've seen police officers on Earth play card games amongst themselves in various settings anyway. So, and you've seen them sleeping on the job in their car just outside your fields where the cattle sits. Mainly because it was nice and quiet for them and they could actually get some rest. But
Yeah.
so to you, it wouldn't seem out of the ordinary.
Yeah, she's just kind of looking around then. There's not anything very specific she's going for.
Okay. You approach the pail and bucket. And as you enter into the tavern, you catch the eye of Bard that is sat in the corner, strumming and humming something to himself quietly. You keep your eyes up, looking around. You also see that the bartender behind the counter is, well, he seems to be plugging barrels and getting himself set up for an evening of whatever might be held here, whatever celebration or event might be happening. And as you enter in, he looks up and he says, "Well, you'll be our first customers of the night, although you're not the first to arrive. Assuming you're going to be buying, that is. So, what's your poison?"
Steve turns towards the group. Hey guys, I think we should just take one room. I've been looking through my spellbook and I think I've got a way of keeping things extra secure in case things go wrong. Like Steve says this very subtle.
I'm cool with sharing a bed if I have to.
Yeah, me too.
Need be. I do snore.
Aspen.
Don't worry, I can.
It'll be
Aspen.
all right.
Yeah. Aspen, who's been tailing behind and keeping an eye out as well on things, grins. I can help keep things secure. Not a problem.
We were just looking for one room, your largest, preferably.
Sure. We've got one room available upstairs. Yep. You want the large room? Okay. Yeah, that'll run you a couple of gold. And the young gentleman that's with you. That will suffice, yes. Thank you. And he pulls out 2 gold and hands it over. Only this time, as you look at the young gentleman who is with your group and you're escorting back to the city, he seems to have not grossly, not in any major way, but he does seem to have changed some of the features on his face, and he looks slightly different to what he did before.
Can I roll something on that to see if I understand what's going on? Because that's not normal.
You certainly can.
Can I make
Can you make a? Can you make a what?
I was about to say, can I make like an Arcana check to see if I would know if it's any spell that he's using?
Of course you can, and the same applies to Aura. You can also roll for a Arcana check if you wish.
Would that be Arcana or Perception? Because do I still have advantage on Perception?
You have advantage on Perception if you wish to use that. But what I will advise is that the advantage on Perception, you are more likely to be able to identify the differences rather than perceive what's happening and what's being done.
Would be better. Okay, I'll risk it with Arcana. Nah, I shouldn't have risked it with Arcana. I'm gonna go for the Perception anyway because I don't pick up anything from a 6 in Arcana.
Go for it.
I think I got something.
Oh,
what?
wow.
20 fucking
rolls. Oh, damn. 13 for my perception. Jeez.
On a 13, you do indeed spot the differences. The eyebrows are thinner. The eyes have changed from a bluish colour to a more hazily colour. And his jawline seems to have widened out a little bit from the slimmer figure that his face was before. Over the course of the journey, or since stepping into this tavern or town, he does seem to have gained a little weight, shall we say. Not too much, but enough subtly that it's outwardly changed his appearance.
Laura's gonna put a nice hand on his shoulder. Slightly tight.
Mm-hmm. Fair
And
enough.
She's not gonna say anything yet, but she's gonna keep it there until she can have a conversation.
And with your Arcana check, what did you roll again?
22.
On a 22, you immediately recognize it from one of your spell books. He's cast Disguise Self on himself.
Steve just nods and yeah, and just continues with the group going towards the room.
He pays for the room, and are you all heading straight up there, or are you gonna enjoy a drink first?
I'm going
I
to sit
feel
downstairs looking towards the door while they go up. Or I go.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel we should go up first.
yeah.
Okay, so you all head up, and the young gentleman heads up with you. As you enter the room, it is the largest room that they've got, and it is a little bit cozy. There's 3 beds available, and one of the other serving maids within this little tavern, probably one of the tavern keeper's daughters, comes up, and she's like, "Oh, sorry. I've just got some extra blankets here, and some, and yeah, just because I know there's a lot of you, and some of you might need to sleep on the floor. At least here, I can make it somewhat a little bit more comfortable for you." And she hurriedly drops the blankets, and it's wool blankets and things like that. And she hurriedly sort of drops them down on the floor in a stack next to just inside of your door and hurries off again. But you all, except Osiris, enter the room.
Mm-hmm. I got one question.
Yes.
How far are the door and is there a window?
There is a window, yes.
How far are they apart from each other?
In total,
Total.
I'd say the entire circumference of the room might be, let's say, 15 by 30 by 50. 15 by 30. So
Right.
it's
That's perfect.
yeah. I'd say if you're doing what I think you're doing, you should be able to comfortably do it.
Yeah, I'm as soon as we get into the room, I'm going to cast alarm.
Is that a leveled spell or a cantrip?
It's a leveled spell, so I have to roll for it.
You do, I'm afraid.
That's
And
fine.
it is a new spell.
Mhm.
So, based on everything and your recent successes in believing and doing and casting magic, the DC
Mhm.
is lowered for your sense of belief over science.
All right.
So, roll your wisdom check.
All
Learning
right.
to believe. Believe in the magic.
Plus my modifier, right?
That's correct, plus your modifier.
Let's say 22.
Oh, easily does it. And that will actually be the last check that you need to make for magic, because the DC on that was
Ooh.
12. The next DC would be a 10. And
Mhm.
for the most part, at that point, you're actually going to succeed on almost all of your spells. So, for
Ooh.
leveled spells,
Mhm.
Wesley, your
Yeah.
character no longer needs to make those checks.
Ooh. Can I describe what I'm basically doing?
You can, but I also want you to level up.
Ooh.
Just Wesley.
Oh, well done.
Ooh.
So, go ahead and describe what you're doing, and when you go for your long rest, that's when you'll do your level up there.
Yeah. So it's a minute to cast.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve takes his arcane focus, which is his staff, and he begins to inscribe a little rune into the wood of the floor.
Okay.
And it's not like burning it into the wood, but like with a basically a arcane writing. Pretty much, he is like making a spell circle.
Yep.
And in the middle of the circle, it's there is another small rune
Mm-hmm.
with a in it, which would mean it's an audible alarm.
Yep. Okay.
And I also write in the names of my party so they won't trigger the alarm.
Gotcha. Cool. As you set this in place and you spend a minute doing so, what's the rest of the team that's in the room doing at this time?
Aura is probably gonna try and communicate with her goddess. It's been a day.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of emotions, so she's probably going to silently pray in hopes that she can get some guidance. Knowing that Shantae is very vocal, at least with her, she's kind of hoping that, like, okay, this will give me some reassurance that I'm doing the right thing or put me in my place if I am wrong.
Okay. So, I would like you to make me a religion check, please.
Ooh,
What?
guys.
Yeah. What is
Come on,
Jess
you got this. You got this. Come on.
thinking about
I
doing?
don't.
14. You say your prayers. You spend about a minute saying the prayers, and I'm going to get you to recite or tell me what you're saying in a moment. But you spend about a minute saying your prayers, and during that time, Steve is casting his rune for the alarm spell on the door and window. But what is it that you're asking of Shantae?
She would kind of take the base prayer for guidance that like she would have said to God in this world and just replace Lord with probably Mother is the way she'd go for it, like Great Mother. That's kind of
Okay.
the vibe. So like,
Okay.
dear Great Mother, I come to you today seeking your guidance and direction. I surrender my own plans and desires, asking that you take the full control of my life, my work, and my relationships. I'm asking you to tell me where I am going wrong and to tell me where I am going right, and to help me understand my situation.
Okay. As you say these prayers, you don't hear any voices. You don't feel much at this moment. There is a slight murmur, as it were, in your heart. But that's about all that you get from it at this time. You feel that your prayer's been heard, though. Your request for guidance has been heard. But as of yet, an answer hasn't been received. And that little
She'll take
murmur.
that as she's correct, that she's doing the right thing then. If there's no intervention and she knows the goddess can intervene, she'll take it as a, okay, I'm definitely in the right here then. I'm not doing anything wrong, otherwise she'd intervene.
That little murmur that you felt, though, it kind of feels like even after you finish, it's still there. It kind of feels like you're on hold, as it were. If you were on the phone, you would be on hold. Except it's not unpleasant, and it's not music, or smooth jazz, or classical music. It's just a feeling of be patient and wait.
Please hold on. The goddess will be with you shortly. You are number 3 in the queue.
Oh no, please!
That is getting clipped.
Oh
God
no!
is helpless. God damn it.
She's gonna take this feeling and I'd like to try and cast something.
Go
Because
for it.
obviously she feels goddess's presence. She'd take something. I don't know. A pillow.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think of. I'd like to cast light.
Yeah, you can do that, I believe.
It's not something I've cast before.
Yes.
And it's a cantrip, so I don't know.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. You can cast light. You sense the goddess is with you, just not answering you just yet. Maybe, who knows why. But yeah, you can cast it. And you do cast it.
She'll turn around to the party and just like hold this glowing pillow and be like, "Oh my god, look at it! It's glowing!"
You see, as Steve is doing this ritually, he gives like a big thumbs up.
She's still right. She's gonna be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. And what is Jess doing at this time?
Jess being the creature of comfort that she is, she's going to make a beeline straight for one of the beds.
Fair enough. As you do. They're not the most comfortable of beds, but they'll do. It's much better than sleeping rough on the ground. Let's put it that way.
It's a bed. At this point in time, Jess is just happy to have any kind of bed.
And indeed, in your state, it is a comfortable one from your current perspective.
She'll probably fall asleep quickly in that case.
Fair enough. So, what is Osiris doing with your back to the door, as it were?
Well, he's gonna go downstairs.
Yep.
And
Buy himself a drink and sit at one of the tables for like. What time would it be right now?
As you get your drink and you settle down at one of the tables, you hear the local church bell chime 7 bells.
Mm-hmm. Pretty late.
Right. Well, that's the 7th bell, which means you got 1 hour to all your drinks. And
all right.
you
He's gonna
see a
spend-
small surge of people head towards the bar.
He is going to stay there for the rest of the hour, possibly a little later, but not too much to incur exhaustion penalties. Please do not make me do that, please.
As long as you get 8
but
hours
he's
sleep,
going-
you're all good.
Okay, well, he'll try his best, you know? Little night owl rat he is. He's going to get a drink, sit at one of the corner tables, and kind of watch both the door and the stairs going up for at least like an hour or two.
Fair enough.
If someone goes in the direction of their room.
As you're watching the stairs, the only people that seem to be going up at this time are basically what the 2 daughters that are behind the bar with the tavern keeper. During the course of the hour, the bar does fill up with people, and the musician that's sitting on the far side picks up his little viola, whatever it's called, viol, and starts playing a few tunes. A couple of them, yes. Fiddle. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Is
basically.
that what you're looking for?
Yes, that was what I was looking for, but carry on. Anyway, he picks up, he starts playing a few tunes. A couple of them are sort of shanty-like tavern pleasers, as it were, stuff to get the crowd going. Nothing really of too much interest until about halfway through the second hour, as it were. And then the bard picks up his fiddle after a few minutes and says, "Righty, well, not one for ballads, but I've been instructed by my teacher and great grandmaster of musics that I have to play this little ballad in order to, prove that I'm a good musician. And don't worry, it's not a long one, but it is a tale of a group of heroes who mysteriously disappeared and came back somehow. And it's at this point you can hear the tavern is starting to look up and boo him slightly. This is not a little. The village folk here don't want to hear that sort of shit. They want to hear they want to hear the shanties, and they're starting to boo him. He's getting a bit nervous, and he's like, all right, I won't do it here. Fine, I'll save it for the city when I finally get there. What do you want to hear then? How about the wench and the hound? And you hear a cheer growing up from the rest of the crowd, and it returns back to its bubbly, jovial atmosphere it had prior to the break and the ballad incident, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You do notice,
Wonderful.
Osiris, if you give me a perception check, please. But you do
You
notice
know what?
the room is getting fuller.
You know what? I will absolutely not fucking know. Wow, not one. Great. All right, bye, guys. Bye.
You do notice that the bar is filling up somewhat at this moment, and it's getting hard to distinguish different people from different groups. It is getting a little bit packed. Seems like a lot of the farmers have come in, and apart from that, you don't really notice anyone or anything, and you feel that it's probably time to get upstairs before the bar overfills, as it were.
No, he'll go upstairs. Not much happening except for excitement, I'm sure.
No, but as you get upstairs and enter your room, you hear all of you in the room hear a shout from below your from downstairs, essentially, and you start hearing a couple of bottles getting smashed, like tankards getting smashed, glass ones at that, and over the heads of some people, and there's a little bit of a fray, and you do hear a crash of a window. And then it suddenly, and then it goes quiet. Shortly after that, about 10 minutes later, for those that are awake, you hear the two daughters of the barkeep coming up the stairs, and you hear one of them saying, "Well, that was fun. I'll teach him to grope me. That'll teach him."
Ooh.
And the other one giggles. He's like, "Uh-huh. Especially love the way you threw him out the window."
Period.
And then door slams shut. The door slams shut behind the two girls as they go into a different room, probably for the night. So you're all in the room. Some of you are asleep. Gary has fallen asleep. What are the rest of you doing?
Aura. Ooh, nope. I'll let other people go first. I have been going first a lot.
Do you want to go first, Osiris, or?
I'm trying to think. I don't think he's going to keep that to himself for now.
All right.
Maybe.
Can I do something then?
Yeah, of course you can.
So I feel like as Steve is laying down Like I say he's taking the mattress or whatever they put on the ground, and he gave everyone like the beds because he's used to sleeping on floors.
Yes.
And he is doing a bit of light reading, and specifically what he's reading is like something about a sort of fighting style that's mixed with like some kind of capoeira, but with like a sword in hand.
So, can I ask where you got this book or this information from? Was it something that you would have had downloaded on your phone, or?
Yeah, it's something that he's been wanting to try out as something he could maybe teach in his martial arts studio.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I'll allow that. You would have that sort of thing, that on hand, as it were, on your phone. But it's like a PDF version of the actual book.
Yeah, PDF version.
Yeah.
And this is giving Steve a thought. Like, what if he could use his now innate knowledge of magic with his skill with a sword? And he's got an idea of what he's going to test out as soon as he wakes up.
Okay. So you, having done maybe an hour or so of reading, then hit the sack, as it were, and you get yourself off to sleep. What's Jess? Jess has gone to bed. What is Aura doing then?
She's once again gonna say her goodnight prayer, kind of look outside the window for a bit and pray.
Mm-hmm. How long does that light cantrip last, by the way?
Not that long, I don't think.
Okay,
I will check.
It may have faded by now.
An hour. It lasts an hour.
Okay, it
So-
fades at the end of the hour then. So you say your good night prayers?
Yeah, just kind of once again saying, like, if there's anything, just let me know. Because I kind of have no idea what I'm doing. Please help.
Okay.
And then she'd probably stare out the window for a little bit. It's difficult for her to fall asleep having so many humans in the room and not as many animals in the room.
Yep. Understandable.
So she'll stare out of the window for a bit until she gets tired enough that she'd know she'd fall asleep and not just roll around in her bed for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then hopefully have a peaceful night's sleep. One can hope.
One can hope indeed. And what is Osiris doing?
He's just doing a little bit of contemplation with everything going on. Thinking about telling the party about his fun obsidian ow! Owie! His fun obsidian little handle.
Yeah, as you're contemplating it, you do notice that, or you realise as you're contemplating that it may have had a slight reaction in itself since picking up those shards. It's not something that would have been innate to the sword itself, but there is definitely something there that awoke very recently. Within the hilt of this sword. And